Yes.
Okay. Am I all set to go?
We have some.
Hi,
Hello,
good
oh, no,
afternoon, everyone.
go ahead.
Oops,
I'm
sorry, go
just
ahead.
going to make a couple of announcements real quick. I wanted to thank everyone for joining us today for our final session of our 2021 Virtual Benefits Fair. I am Kim Williams and I am your Assistant Town Manager. Joining me today with co-hosting duties has been Jessica Rojas, who is our HR Generalist, and rounding out our HR department team is Tracy Lavoy, who is our Payroll and Benefits Specialist. I'd like to remind everyone that today's session is being recorded so that if you miss any of the great information that's going to be shared today, you will be able to see this on our HR webpage so you can peruse it at your leisure. Today, we are thrilled to have a representative from a long-term vendor for the town of Bridgewater, Boston Mutual, and we have Stephanie Santiago. Did I say that right? Great.
That's correct, yes.
Perfect. And she's going to be talking to you a little bit about the benefits that this great vendor has. And then you'll be able to ask a few questions at the end. So I will get out of the way and turn this session over to you, Stephanie.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Williams. My name is Stephanie Santiago, and I am the Massachusetts Municipal Specialist for Boston Mutual. We are your group life-term insurance carrier. So one of the insurances that we service for the town is your basic life and accidental death insurance. What the basic life benefit is all full-time active eligibles working at least 20 hours a week have a basic life and AD&D benefit of $10,000. You have that benefit until you retire with the town, and then upon retirement, it gets reduced to $5,000. That is a group life coverage, so you do have to be actively working and fit the eligibility requirements for this coverage. The coverage is paid by both you and your employer, so the town and the employees split the cost of this coverage. Some of the features that come with the basic life are the accelerated death benefit, accidental death and dismemberment, portability, conversion, and waiver of premium. And those are actually listed on your benefit plan summaries as well that come with your new hire packets, or if you ask your HR benefit person, they can provide that for fuller definition of what those additional features pertain. The next coverage that we have for the town is we have a voluntary life plan, and I can pull that up as well. How this differs from the basic life is the voluntary life is an individual option to choose. You, the employee, pay this 100%. And that's why it's a little different from the basic life where the employer is assisting with the payment. The optional plan for actives, there's a $5,000 option at a cost of $390 a month. And there's a $10,000 option at a cost of $7.80 a month. This also, like the other basic life plan, does have a reduction, so it reduces upon retirement to a $5,000 benefit. With the optional plan, the difference is you also have the option to add some dependent life coverage for your spouse and children. And the plan offers for spouse, it's $2,000 for your spouse. And for your children, 6 months to age 19 is $1,000. And that would go to age 25 if your child's a full-time student. So if you have a college student or they're enrolled in school, there is an extension to age 25 on that. Upon the attainment age of 70, this does reduce for both actives and retirees to $3,000. So that's the reduction for that. And the coverage in general, all benefits, does terminate at age 75. So when you reach that age 75 age, it does terminate. And those are the group life coverages that are currently in force with the town of Bridgewater. Besides the group coverage, we have some other coverages, which we call worksite coverages or individual coverages. One of the coverages offered is a whole life insurance plan. Whole life is a little different than group life. With whole life, the employee is actually the policy holder. So you choose the plan, you pay for the plan, and the plan can go with you. So unlike the basic life, which is group term product, you have to be actively at work and working the 20 plus hours for the town of Bridgewater. If you do separate employment with the whole life policy, it does have the ability to go along with you. So you can take it with you. There is the rates are subject to change with that policy because it is an individual product, but you do have the ability to take it. So the whole life option, we have some rates here that I provided to the town. We have just a copy of what the enrollment form looks like. It's a 2-page enrollment form. It's not too in-depth. It's not too much to complete. With this product, there is some medical underwriting though. If you're not within a true open enrollment period, you are subject to a couple of health questions, but not as many as other carriers, but it would be subject to some underwriting on this product. And we have some rates here just so that we can just do a kind of an example. So how these rates work they are issue age. So what you would do is you'd find your age on the rate sheet chart and you'd find the amount you want to pay. So it's a money purchase, what we call a money purchase. You kind of set the amount, what you know that you can pay out of your paycheck per week. So if you are, say, just for an example, if you are age 18 and you want to pay $5 a week, the base amount you're going to get for being age 18 at $5 per week is $36,303 of coverage. So that's how that rate sheet works. And it goes all the way up to, I want to say age maybe 100. Let me see, it goes pretty far up. We can just skip to the last page. Those are all just rate charts depending on age. So it's all on how high you want to pay. You can go up to a max of $30 per week, which let's say at age 70 for $32, $30 a week, you'd be getting $16,330 of coverage, because the older, of course, your age and insurance, the more costly for coverage. So that's how that rate sheet works. And that is, like I said, an individual product. So if you want to take that with you and, into retirement, or if you're leaving employment, you can do that. And that's your own policy. You're the policy holder and you're also the certificate holder on that as well. So those are the 3 coverages for life insurance that the town of Bridgewater currently is offering. And all of this information has been provided to your HR benefit office so that they can give these rates to you and this information in regards to the plan summary sheets. I don't know if anyone has any questions that I can help answer in regards to the products, or.
So if you have questions, please feel free to unmute yourself or to place your question into the chat. That would be
Sure.
great.
Stephanie, I have a question. What is the difference between group term life and whole life insurance?
Sure. So with group term life, the plan is based on the number of eligible employees. So in group term life, for example, the town of Bridgewater, with group term life, Bridgewater would actually be the policy holder. The reason why group term life rates are lower, you'll often see if you look at whole life versus group term life, you'll see a big difference in the rate. And the reason is because the group term life isn't individuals. It's rated based off of employees as a whole. So the more employees you have, the lower the rate goes. The thing with group insurance is, though, the policy holder is actually the town of Bridgewater and not the employee. So you can't just take that policy if you decide to leave the town or exit employment. That doesn't go with you. With whole life, the individual is the actual policy holder, so it's rated differently. So it'll tend to be, you'll see the rates be a little bit higher. However, the employee is the policy holder. That is your actual policy. So you have, the say as to whether or not you want to take it with you. If you want to, that policy builds cash value, which you can take out money against. It's your policy and you have the right to take it with you because you're paying the full premium when it comes to the whole life product.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Stephanie, well, while we're waiting in the chat, can you just detail again why it's so important for people to update their beneficiary information?
Beneficiaries, absolutely, yes. So beneficiaries are extremely important. We're all busy in our lives, and a lot of times you might just, as a new hire or where you first enroll in a product, you write down a beneficiary, and you may not go and revisit that beneficiary sheet for sometimes a long time, or we've had instances where people just put it down and kind of forget about it and they don't update it. The problem with that is when it does come time to submit a claim against your insurance, they're going to look for that beneficiary information. If it's not up to date or it's outdated, or maybe your beneficiary may have predeceased you, it becomes a problem. And then when that happens, the payment for the claims are held up, and sometimes often held up in probate and family court as well. We get instances where people, they might have put a beneficiary, say their wife, and now they're divorced and it's the ex-wife and the new wife, and gets it, that becomes a problem. And then it gets hashed out and it takes a long time sometimes, and you can't get your claim paid for and get the money that a lot of people desperately need during such a sad time and a hard time. So it's important. I tell everyone, annually, it's always great to it takes a second, just take a quick look and review your beneficiary information. Make sure it's who you want to get the money. Make sure the person is, the right splits are down if you have a co-beneficiary, because some people have more than one. You don't have to leave 100% to just one person. You can say, I want, 50 to my primary beneficiary and 50% to my co-beneficiary, and that's up to you. But it's always great annually I usually say around like open enrollment time, when you're looking at your health and dental and benefits, etc. Take a quick look. Just make sure your beneficiary is accurate and who you want it to be paid out to.
Great. That's great information. Wonderful. Any other questions that we might have in the chat, or guys? Just take a quick look. Not seeing any. Stephanie, is there any last thoughts that you want to leave with us or our employees?
I think it's just the importance of insurance. I tell people often, I have people, and especially I handle a lot of towns and schools, and I see younger teachers come aboard and they say, oh, I don't need life insurance. I'm young. And my answer is, and a lot of the times it's surprising, I'll say, do you have insurance on your cell phone? And they'll say, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? You can have life insurance for less than you're paying for your cell phone insurance. So if you can insure your cell phone, you should insure yourself. It's imperative to get into life insurance at a younger age. One of the reasons are you'll get, just the rates in general will be extremely low the younger you are. And it relieves the burden of family members, and it just helps with the financial hardship that people go through when they lose a loved one. So to have that in place and have that financial strength in place for your family is important. So I always tell everyone, if you insure your cell phone, then you can insure yourself.
Wow, what an amazing perspective. Never thought of it that way. But yeah, we're at least as valuable as our cell phones.
Absolutely.
So that's an amazing perspective. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. And if anyone has questions even after this, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I have provided you guys with this presentation, but if there's any other, questions after the fact, do not hesitate to email me or give me a call. I'm glad to assist and answer any questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much again, Stephanie. You provided us with a lot of great information, and all of the information that she's kind of shown you briefly today will be available on our website, as well as this presentation. So please, again, as Stephanie said, that's really stuck with me. We are at least as valuable as our cell phone. So we should really invest in this kind of product. So again, thank you so much, Stephanie, for joining us. Thank you to the employees for joining us today. This is our final session of our virtual benefits fair, and I really appreciate everyone taking their time to come out and join us. I just want to do one final reminder to the employees that open enrollment began today, and it will go through Friday, May 14th. This is the only time that you can make changes to your benefits without a qualifying event. So it's an excellent time for you to review all of the presentations you've seen today, review information with the excellent vendors that we have, and reach out to hr@bridgewaterma.org if you have any other questions. Take a look at the employee newsletter that we sent to everyone for some information that can help you make some decisions about your benefits. So again, thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for having us. Same to you.